for what concerning the presentation. So we will go through all the presentation, and at the end, we also have a session of question and answer. So kindly, please keep your question for the really last session of the presentation. So we are now 50 people connected. So really a nice number of travel advisors joining us in this fantastic, unexpected Sardinia. I'm here together with Elena, owner of Elessa Travel. Do you think, Elena, that we could start, or shall we wait a little bit more?
Oh no, I don't know, Claudia. I mean, if ideally we can start a bit. We can start slowly, telling everyone, and then.
Great. So we can start slowly to give you a little overview. So I'm here, as mentioned, with Elena of Elessa Travel. So Elena, tell us something about Elessa Travel and traveling with passion.
I'm very happy to be here with all of you today. I thank Claudia for helping me and supporting us in organizing this webinar at an international level. We are a tour operator with a strong cultural vocation. We are based in Italy. We are mostly made and by Italians. And what we love is to design journeys and experience for what we call the discerning traveler, the traveler that wants to discover a bit more, to get in touch with the feeling and the culture of our country. That is why we have developed during the years a strong network of experts, of people that have a deep knowledge of the local, obviously, but what is more is that they have a deep knowledge of the passion they represent. So each one of them is specialist in some very specific things. So we will have the chance today to introduce you to our specialists of Sardinia. And in particular, even if Sardinia is one region of Italy, what they have is a passion that is very specific. So Francesca, she's mad, crazy, and fantastic about outdoor activities. So she's an expert of outdoor activities. Well, Giusy has a passion for history and all the traditions that are represented, that exist in Sardinia. So in a lot of senses, one of the characteristics of Elessa is that we can help and support you organize for your clients trips that are specifically designed for their interest. And then we have Camilla, that is passionate about artisanships and workshops and the ability to put your hands on and learn from what they have done and what exists already over there. So we can organize special trips, organize and focus according to what your clients' needs are. Claudia will finish again our webinar telling us about what is our strength, the choice of specific and very local partners, and in particular with hotels. So she'll present what are our preferred partners in Sardinia in general. So to start, Claudia, what do you think? Shall we start presenting the place, since we have introduced the expert?
Yes, the place. Well, I'm going to Sardinia since I was a little girl. I was probably 5, 6 years old. So it's incredible, but I'm always thinking, why are we so attracted to Sardinia? And this is really incredible because it's unique. It's simply sublime. And it's a revelation. You will see it's a land of contrast, pristine beaches and blue waters, just as opposed to wild canyons and lush verdant landscapes. And this marvelous island hides many secrets. And today we want to reveal you some of them. And let's start with food and wine, which is a real triumph in Sardinia. Actually, we cannot experience this amazing territory without tasting its culinary delights. And as we know, the search for physical and mental well-being starts from what you eat. And in Sardinia, it's easier that you would think, this land offers so many genuine, delicious dishes and wines that you will feel spoiled for choice. The Barbagia cuisine, for example, has centuries-old tradition and radiates simplicity and authenticity. And I'm just going to give you a tip. Do you know that in Sardinia, there is an area where there is the highest number of people having more than 100 years. And this is amazing. And it's proved that the reason is due to the kind of lifestyle these people are having during their life, and also for the kind of food. So Sardinia is marvelous in summer, but her beauty is poor in every season. And this is still a secret for many people. So let's start with the first secret, history. Elena, tell us something about history.
One of the characteristics of Sardinia is that it represents, it's a sort of concentration of what Italy is. That is a mixture, it's a small island with a huge material patrimony. The fact that it was inhabited, that has been inhabited for centuries, makes it a special place where you can actually join, and you can actually see, obviously, since you're in Italy, you can see churches, but at the same time, you can go on and learn about how all these places were inhabited and still live with ancient traditions. Ancient traditions that you can see here are represented by there is an echo. Claudia, try to turn off your microphone. Sorry, you're right, I can hear it. Is it better now? So I was telling you, apart from visiting buildings and places that Giusy will tell you afterwards, one of the marvels about Sardinia is that tradition is still very much alive. You'll have the chance to see lots of places and to look about how art has evolved. Imagine a place that has been inhabited for centuries, that was at the very center of Mediterranean Sea. So imagine all trade that went on since before Roman times. So everything passed through there. So you can imagine ports, places, tradition, mix of cultures that have left an enormous amount of ability in terms of art. And one of the things that we love the most is the ability of the craftsmanship of the people that live in Sardinia. One of the things that I always love is think about the journeys you can organize. For example, for a bride-to-be, or for an invitation, or for the joy of asking to the loved ones to get married, where you can as well organize with the trip the possibility to buy a piece of jewelry tailor-made for your client. So what comes next is, apart from the art, history, the tradition, given the history of Sardinia, one of the magnificent landscape that Sardinia had is a rock in the middle of the island, makes it a perfect destination of all outdoor activities that you can think of. And here, I would like to introduce our expert, the person that can organize everything you can imagine in this island in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. Francesca, are you ready to tell us everything about Sardinia?
Definitely. Thank you, Elena. Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. I am a tour guide and outdoor guide in Sardinia, and of course, Eletta, outdoor experience and expert. I'm really grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to tell you what you can do here in Sardinia, because we are so sad here in Sardinia not being able to do that. So, first of all, I want to explain to you that Sardinia is bigger than Wales, but it has the half of the population. Or for example, it is an island that is as big as New Hampshire in the USA, but it has only 1.5 million of population. So definitely we have lots of space and lots of nature where we can do all these outdoor experiences. Sardinia, for example, has more than 1,800 kilometers of coastline. So there you can go along the coastline to see, to swim or to surf, trying to move the, or to surf or to kite surf, and we can even do stand-up paddle. I don't know why it's not moving to the other slide. I'm sorry. Okay, it's going too fast now. Definitely we can do a lot of trekking. We can go trekking. So one of the toughest, for example, is on the highest peak, which is the Gennargentu with more than 1,800 meters from the sea level, or the Selvaggio Blu, so the one that you can see in this picture along the eastern coastline, which is actually a trekking that is 7 days long. So is definitely one of the toughest treks that we have around Sardinia. Then, of course, we have even easier path that you can do even with your family or with kids. We can go trekking, and we can actually feel the wildest part of the island. So you can feel the plants, you can feel the sea, the mountains, because 70% of our island is formed by granite rocks, volcanic plains, and limestone cliff. So trying to go with to the other slide, to the other images. Yes, this is the highest peak in Sardinia, the Gennargentu. Then, of course, we can reach hidden places during hiking or trekking, trying to feel all these natural places. We can go canyoning. Here in Sardinia, we have one of the deepest canyons of Europe, which is Gorropu. Then definitely we can go biking. We have several biking routes around Sardinia. We have toughest routes like the T Trail with the mountain bike, but we have even easier. So that is the same for the trekking. You can have both offers, both services. Then definitely something that we can do is climbing. I don't know why the image for climbing is not appearing in the presentation, but we have lots of different climbing routes from the eastern coast to the western coast. And then, of course, we can go horse riding. This one you can do it in the forestries, you can do it on the beaches. So we have lots of nature and lots of places where you can enjoy this kind of active tourism. For us, and our aim with Alexa is actually to make your wish come true and create an unbelievable holiday around Sardinia, giving the right tips, so giving the right places or activities that suits us better, that suits you better. So at this point, of course, you can imagine that with the nature, it goes along all the lifestyle and even the traditions. And for that, I will just let Giusy explain to you what you can do, all the things related to arts and history. Are you ready, Giusy? Yeah? The microphone is okay.
Yes. Good. Yes, here we are with Giusy, is our expert regarding history and tradition. So we'll pass also the screen control to Giusy. There we are. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Giusy, and as a Sardinian, it's truly a great honor for me to be the local insider helping Alessa Travel to design his tours in my island. I don't know why the slides are moving alone. Okay, so Sardinia, as you might have understood, is a part of Italy, but is very, very different because of its unique identity, which has been shaped in the thousands of years of history. I'm sorry, I think I have a problem controlling the slides. I don't know if Elena can help. Okay, so across the island, there are really several monuments dating back to the Neolithic age, like the very impressive Tomb of Giants, which are megalithic monuments. But the very specialty of Sardinia are the Nuraghe fortress, which were built around 4,000 years ago. So this massive and impressive building reveal a very high level of ability techniques at a prehistoric stage of history. And that's why Nuraghe, which is one of the most well-preserved, has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. We know little about the real function of nuraghes, but certainly we can imagine that they were built to protect the local populations against invasions, as we can see in the in the Nuragic village, in the hidden and the mysterious Nuragic village, which is hidden in the Mount Tiscali. I don't know if Elena can show us. Okay, that's a very amazing place. I mean, just imagine a Nuragic village. It's not just the Nuragi, but the village itself, hidden inside the mountain. A jewel that you can discover just after a very demanding 2 hours trekking trail. So next to villages, Nuragic also build amazing sanctuaries to honor their divinities, such as incredibly perfect and proportionated. I mean, this has been built 3,000 years ago, and it's the sacred well of Santa Cristina, whose stairs are perfectly aligned with the sun position during spring and autumn equinox. But
sorry, Giusy, the first time I saw it, I was wondering, no, I was outside. Is it possible still to go inside and to see what is in there?
yeah, well, you actually can descend the stairs and just feel like you are descending really into the past and into the ancient Nuragic history. Then the monument ends at the end of the stairs because there was the water, and the divinity was honored exactly at that point by the Ministry of Worship. But Sardinia has also been the stage for the most important archaeology discovery in Mediterranean in the 20th century. Is the one related to the Monte Prama giants statues. These ones are the tallest and most ancient in-round statues never found in Mediterranean areas, dating back 3,000 years ago. They represent heroes, warriors, wrestlers, very enigmatic characters, which, according to the legend, were the last bequests of an agonizing civilizations, which was going to be overtaken by that time by the Roman and Punic invasion, which as well left amazing archaeological sites in very panoramic places across the islands. So from while traveling to Sardinia, you will find yourself from Nuragic villages to contemporary villages, which are the cradle of authentic traditions and identity. And identities in the pictures, you will see the talking walls, which represent the street art murals of the hilltop village of Orgosolo. These walls depict scenes related to the identitarian facts of Sardinian social and politics. Experience the villages is fundamental to enter Sardinian identities, because you can listen to people speaking Sardinian languages in everyday life and at an every age. Therefore, it's definitely something you must do, and you will find the expression of Sardinian identity also in the traditional music, which includes the tenore singing, which has been proclaimed by UNESCO as a masterpiece of oral heritage. But next to the traditional music, we also host some of the coolest international festivals in Italy, such as the Jazz Festival Time in Jazz, which is held in Gallura. And I think the best place to experience the timeless atmosphere of our island is in the villages or in the cities during the traditional feasts. These are held especially in springtime, but you can happen to be here across all the year. And it is where we display the best of the local handcraft expression, such as these very elegant clothes worn by Sardinian women during festive days. So the beauty and tradition of Sardinia is really displayed in these chances, in this occasion, while the power and mystery of these identities can be seen during the carnivals, the very special carnivals of the center of Sardinia. These carnivals are like scary carnivals. Just imagine in the small village of Mamoyada, for instance, close to Nuoro, every year the men wore these wooden frightened masks. They vest with black sheep skin before heading to the street to dance with cowbells. This very special scary dance, which is believed to mark the end of the winter and scare away the evils.
Sorry just to disturb you again, but are these shows or are actually things that people are involved in on a daily basis to take this? Are these done for other people or are they still felt like ancient traditions?
Oh, these are traditions which are certainly ancient, but they are really still kept alive every year and at every chance. I would like to remind that even if with COVID, this tradition, also there might not be the event with people attending, but the tradition are still put on display. So the masks also this year have danced around the bonfires to celebrate, to mark the end of the winter and to celebrate wellness and generosity for the land, to welcome the new year and the spring as well. So these carnival celebrations have very ancient roots, which probably date back to the Nuragic age. But if you want to know more about Sardinian identity, history, and tradition, then you will certainly find that the local museums are a treat. There is certainly a very beautiful museum of masks, but also a great museum of costumes, which displays all the traditional, showcases all the beauty of traditional fashions of the island. And I'm sure you won't miss the beautiful carpet museum in Samugeu, which is the capital of the famous textile and the craft of Sardinia. But we also host very other important museums with contemporary art, design. You might have heard of Tino Nivola, which is a Sardinian designer whose works are also displayed in New York at MoMA. And here in Sardinia, you will visit the museum that is born town as dedicated to him. So you will see that there will be really one discovery after the other. And we wait for you here in Sardinia. Thank you.
In my audios, yes. So there we are again. So it's real true, one discovery after the other, and you will find yourself wondering, but is this really Sardinia? Sardinia is this and more. And I'm going to give the control of the presentation to Camilla, who she's going to teach us all the secrets about creative classes.
Hello, okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Camilla, and I'm part of the family that owns Sugologone since 3 generations. As an hotel, our strength is definitely the authenticity. And in our property, you not only discover our tradition and our artistry, but you can actually witness an exceptional variety of the most unique and unforgettable experiences. Sugologone is the perfect combination of art, culture, and nature, and we want our guests to make new discoveries every single day in their stay with us, and therefore to customize every experience or activities they do. We offer more than 50 different experiences that range from classes, painting courses to sporty activities or local products tastings and so on. So today, just to give you a glimpse of what really happens daily in Sugologone, I'm going to show you some of our workshop and courses. This one is the workshop of the ceramic class. And it's important to say that Sugologone is located in one of the most famous archaeological area of Sardinia. And also it happened to be situated in an area that is very rich of clay. And in fact, the tradition of making pottery has always existed already at the time of the pre-Nuragic Sardinia. The pottery course take place outdoor, obviously, with one of two master ceramists and with all the equipment, such as obviously the clay, the pottery wheel, of course, the cutting wire, the modeling boards. And it's also very important to say that we provide every single equipment or item to our guests for every single course. We provide 3 types of ceramic course: the manipulation of clay, the actually pottery class that also take place, but that is a little bit different from the other 2 because it has a running time that is a little bit longer, is at least for 2 weeks. And then the raku course, which is a particular cooking technique. Then we have the painting class. That also take place outdoor, and guests can choose between the painting course and drawing classes. The guests can choose also between the oil painting, the tempera painting, and lastly, the watercolors painting. Also, depending on the time that the guests have, so for depending on the length of their stay, they can choose to take the courses just for 1 hour, even 1 hour every day for their stay, and also even for 3 hours. So depending what they like to do. Then we have the embroidery. And in this course, our seamstress teach the guests the different technique of embroidery, such as the cross stitch, the satin stitching, and the carving. And also they can do a mix of all of these different technique for a class that lasts at least for 2 hours. But the best part is that if you're not finished with the embroidery, you can actually finish it up in every single place of the hotel. You can take it with you in your room if you want, or you can take it in the swimming pool, or anywhere you want. And also you can go up in the art shop, that is where the courses are held, and you can actually ask for help or for any tip to one of our seamstress. So basically any time of the day between 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Then we have the sewing course. And the sewing class is actually a course of cutting and sewing, where guests can learn the different methods to create, for example, item as a little pochette, or they can customize a little bag. So they can personalize almost any item, even such as pillows or cushions, and accordingly to their wishes and tastes. So once again, we provide every single material and equipment they need. Then the cooking class. Cooking classes are held in one of our outdoor restaurants that is called the Nest of Bread. And here there is a wood fire oven, and that is very typical of this area of Sardinia. And almost every inhabitant of the villages have it in their rustic kitchen. We offer 3 types of cooking classes: the pasta class, the bread class, and the sweet class. And obviously, we teach our guests how to make typical and traditional dishes, such as the gnocchetti or culurgiones or ravioli, if it's the case of the pasta class, or carasau bread or pane mode, if they are going to take the bread class. Then we have casadinas or even papassini, which is a typical biscuit, if they decided to take the sweet class. And if they wish, which is also the best part, we can cook for dinner or for lunch what they actually made during the cooking course. Then lastly, the wine tasting. That can be held outdoor in one of our 2 wineries. Sardinia is very well known for red wine, and this area particularly is very well known for the best red wine, in my opinion, which is Nepente of Oliena. And usually this course lasts for 1 hour and a half, but depends of how many wines clients like to taste and which type. So they can be either red or white or even champagne. It's also possible to pair the wine tasting with the other local products tastings, such as oil or cheese or even honey tastings. This depends on what clients like to do and how, and therefore we can say then tailor-made is the key of our experience success. And we like to customize every single experience or activity adjusting to our guest needs and wishes. So, parli tu o continuo? So basically,
Okay.
well, okay, vai tu.
So we went through just few of the best experiences that you can actually enjoy in Sardinia. Now I'm going to give you a quick overview of the two hotels I represent. I'm saying a quick overview because I would love, if you wish, to plan and schedule some specific one-to-one meeting with Sugologone or with the other hotel in order to go deeply into the accommodation. As Camilla is here, I would love her to give you an overview of Sugologone Experience Hotel. And Camilla, go ahead. She is a family owner of this fantastic property, which is a great Sardinia's top country lodge.
Well, the part of the experience, it was just to give you an idea what Sugologone is. It's a property that is really hard to sum up and to show you just through photos. You definitely need to come and visit to see yourself. But I wanted to say that this gem, first of all, is the result of the hard work of my grandparents and the fierce dedication of my mom, but also the result of an actual belief in our tradition and culture, which are really important for us. And I think I speak for every inhabitants of Sardinia. Well, Sugologone, we have 72 rooms and suites. We have a typical restaurant that is very famous in Sardinia, but not only in Sardinia, it's well known in Italy as well for our typical menu, the traditional menu. And we have obviously many areas like those ones. The guests can have a glass of wine, they can chill, they are all to discover. There are so many nice corners, so many nice places where to go. Okay. It's a very colorful place, and we like to celebrate food and also wine as well. And also we have 3 experiential restaurants when guests can actually try the different type of Sardinian food from the traditional one, but also we have the vegetarian options or the vegan ones in our restaurant that is literally on the vegetable garden, which is called Orto in Italian. And here we cook delicious vegetarian dishes. And yeah, all the rooms, they're all different. They're all unique. We have the experience suite as well. For example, the country suite, and also the art studio, which was my mom's studio. And then she decided to turn into a room, and inside there is still everything to paint, all the brushes and canvas. So it's a very colorful and relaxing place. And all the rooms are unique and decorated with original pieces of art of the Sardinian artists of the 900.
Okay, the other property I represent, it's a 5-star luxury hotel close to the famous area of Porto Cervo, Costa Smeralda. It's a boutique hotel located on the beach, 31 rooms and suite and 5 private villas, which are really perfect for families. I'm always saying that the best idea to come to Sardinia and to enjoy a real holiday in Sardinia is actually to combine destinations. So to combine the inland, which is the authentic part of Sardinia, and then, of course, an hotel on the beach. I might say that Sardinia is really incredible. Now we are in the session question and answer, but I would like to end by saying that we know that we are all working in the luxury travel, but we are convinced that luxury is it's a word which is a bit overused and quite often is ambiguous. True luxury delivers unexpected pleasures above and beyond what is essential or necessary. So it exists in the small details that differentiates an experience from what is normal or average. And what we are doing and what Elesta is doing is really to deliver the kind of experience which is authentic, which is In a word, saying, live like a local.
And Claudia, on this, if you don't mind, living like the local, Leonora Di Mauro was asking in the questions, if you're coming during the summer, June, July, August, what are the festivals you suggest to attend? Which would be the preferred ones to do? Josie, we talked about it yesterday. What are the festivals you think in August someone should definitely see?
In August, definitely you should head to Nuoro, which is the capital of Barbagia, for the feast of Redentore, where you can actually see displayed all of the 80 outfits of, of respective villages of Sardinia, and also many people in costumes with horses. So it's definitely a beautiful show to visit. But you can also head to Sassari to see the Candelieri, which is another very identitarian feast in Sardinia, but very different. They build these large machines which are carried by the hundreds of men around for a very colorful parade around the city streets.
Claudia, one of the other questions?
Yeah, there is a nice question from Gina Di Prina for Camilla. Would the courses like sewing be appropriate for expert sewers or just those new to sewing?
Hi, Gina. Well, actually, I think they are for everyone. So every course that has a different difficulty level, and we have the ceramists or in this case, the seamstress, they can actually teach to someone that it's a beginner, but also intermediate or also advanced. So I think it's the case for everyone, because I mean, those people that teach, they are really experts. So they are really used to do it since all time. So
yeah, again for Camilla, Nick is asking if a client wants to combine the bread, pasta, and dessert class, can this be arranged even though it would be longer time?
Aspetta che non l'ho letta, the crisp. Dove la trovo la domanda che non ho capito?
If clients want to combine the bread, pasta, and dessert class, can this be arranged even though it would be longer time? Yes, everything is tailor-made.
The ceramic class and the pasta class?
The bread, pasta, and dessert class.
Non ho capito qual è la seconda, che classe?
Cooking classes, dessert.
Dessert, the sweets. Okay, because we call it the sweets class, because it's not actually dessert. It's like for us, it's like for breakfast or any time of the day, because it's mostly like casadinas and biscuits. But yeah, well, absolutely, they can actually do it together, and they can do first, let's say, the culurgiones, which is kind of like a ravioli, and then they can do the sweet one, so they can do the biscuits, and we can cook them for them anytime, and then we can give them even for dinner or for lunch, so they can actually combine them both. Depends of I mean, how good they are on doing it. It can even last for 3 hours, but if for them it's okay, then no problem for us at all.
Yeah,
Claudia, sorry, I see there is a question about Selvaggio Blu. I don't know if
go ahead.
Yeah, can I answer? So actually the Selvaggio Blu is, as I said, a 7 days trek. It's not like the Dolomites where you have refuges or places where you can stay and where you can sleep. Actually, during the Selvaggio Blu, the name is actually the wild blue. So it means that really you sleep in the tents. Sometimes you sleep on the beaches at night, or if you really do the wildest and the toughest path, because then recently they adapted the path even in an easier way, then definitely you can sleep in the tents, but in the wild side, so on the mountains or at the beach. So another option, for example, is to cut the Selvaggio Blu, so not doing 7 days, but doing 3 days if you have less time. deciding where you want to pass and deciding the options. Yeah, for example, you can decide the options with the guide. So I mean, it really depends on what you want and how much time you want to spend there, but it's completely wild. So you just sleep there in your tents that you will have to bring with yourself. So it's really an expedition. It's really tough trekking.
Yeah. Regarding opening, a few travel advisors are asking about hotels opening. Well, being sincere and to tell you the truth, many hotels are planning to open at Easter, so beginning of April. Of course, this might be for mainly for people from Sardinia, quite probably, or for some Italians. I mean, driving to Sardinia, I mean, arriving there car and boat, or also by flight. For European and American clients, I might say April is about to be a bit difficult, but we are really confident, as somebody is asking, that mid-July could be an option. We are really confident that, yes, I mean, has to be July a good option, isn't it, Elena?
One of the things that we do hope is July is going to be an option. Sardinia is already a white zone, so the COVID cases are really low at the moment. We do hope that the government will quickly go into vaccinating the whole island, and we hope that it's going to be one of the first regions to open, honestly. So definitely. I'm sorry, Claudia, I was distracted because I was replying to Gina that tell us if you can tell us more about Sardinia about boat. We didn't focus on Sardinia by boat because it's the most common thing to do. You can do everything in Sardinia by boat, as Francesca was saying. There is even a trail that can actually allow you to climb directly from the sea. So definitely on sea offers and experience and opportunities, you have all the options there.
Yeah, then definitely there are some harbor that are prepared for the boats, so where you can stay. But yeah, as you can as you was saying, yeah, you can do everything by boat. You can decide to do all the
exactly. You can do it with a motorboat, or you can sail around all the coast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
And another question for Camilla. They are asking, especially for the ceramics class, if it's a 2-week process, do you mail final product to client?
Absolutely, yes. It happens all the time because when you take the actual pottery class, it takes at least 3 days to dry what you make, and then we have to cook it in the oven. So we definitely send it through mail to anywhere in the world. So yeah, absolutely, we already did it.
There is another nice question from Raja from India. Hi, Raja. Thank you for joining us. For a client visiting from India, consider that he will see other places in Italy. What would be the minimum night stay would you recommend to get a nice feel of Sardinia? Elena.
Oh, it's a very difficult question, Raja. I definitely not less than 3. So because by the time you get there, by the time you get a continent, you have to get the transport in Sardinia. Either you go by boat or by car. You cannot move that quickly, and you need time to enjoy. So definitely, I would recommend not less than 3 if you want to have a feeling of what Sardinia is. Yes.
Then Vivian is asking, what do you have for clients with children staying on Costa Smeralda?
Once the Children are very much part of Italian life. So we do have, there are courses, there are, you can have sailing classes, you can have walking activities, riding activities. You can even do courses if you'd like to organize it. And obviously there are lots of places that are all inclusive, that are specially designed. So you have the mini clubs and places where you can access, let them more free. So there are lots of activities can be planned. And definitely, if you have a child that is more interested in history, the archaeological sites, kids normally love them completely. So having a guide that is specialized in kids taking you to archaeological sites, it's amazing. And obviously the usual ones. Juicy wants to add something.
Yes, I would like to add that if you're traveling with children, Sardinia is a very family-friendly destination, also because of its beaches, which are mainly sandy and with very low, I mean, the water is not high immediately, so it's perfect for children for playing also in the water. And there are also thematic parks, outdoor parks, or didactic parks for children. And always consider that towns and villages are always very small. So the feeling is that of a familiar staying. So for children, it's easy to play in the streets, in the squares. It's pretty safe and funny for a child to stay here.
There was a question for, well, I don't know. Maybe somebody answered because I don't see it anymore. There was a question for families as well, like activities, but maybe.
Yeah, there is also a question that it's all about, for example, specific food allergies. If in Sardinia, I mean, there is the possibility to stay, I mean, safe in a way, if some clients have the problem of this strictly, for example, gluten-free diet, Camilla, that you...
Yes, with us, definitely, because you have to think about that we actually make 12 different types of pasta every single day for our clients. So everything is handmade in the hotel. And we definitely use specific products, even for lactose intolerant or celiac disease. So we use, even for the cooking classes, also some specific flour that is different than the one that we use for people that doesn't have any type of disease. So yes. With us, definitely no problem at all. Like we deal this all the time, and even for breakfast, we have specific products for celiac or intolerant or any kind of allergies.
I just wanted to say for those who were, I think is, well, they were asking, Leonora, I think, was asking about family groups, with small family groups with different physical abilities. Actually, we have all around Sardinia, so it's not really a problem, the area. We have different kind of experiences and different kind of I would say activities with different difficulty. I mean, so different level of difficulty. So definitely you can organize, as Claudia was saying, with the Jeep, but also easier path, or in order to stay also in contact with nature, but at the same time not doing the 7 days trek around the Selvaggio Blu, of course. So we have both sides for the toughest and even for the small group family.
Claudia, I just read the question I'm always terrified on. Roberta asked, would you suggest renting a car?
Definitely. I mean, if you want to enjoy Sardinia, definitely suggest to rent a car. I mean, first of all, it's really easy driving and you don't have much traffic. So driving in Sardinia is really easy, and you can go and visit what you want whenever you want. So having your own car is really a nice idea, Roberta.
And I have to add, Roberta, if you love driving, that is my big concern. If you really like driving in particular situation, it's amazing. So you have nice, long, safe drives, and you have very interesting mountain drives. So rent a car, definitely. You can, the scenery from some of the routes are unbelievable. And the feeling of driving the car in those roads, it's amazing. So yeah, just go slowly, I would recommend.
Yeah, there is always this question when, for example, a client have altogether 10, 12 days to spend in Italy, what to choose and where to go. This is a question. I mean, we know that Italy is such a small country, but you have plenty of things to do. So if you want to combine Sardinia, I would say at least 4 days in Sardinia.
Try to combine it so that it's easy, for example, do Tuscany and Sardinia, or Liguria and Sardinia, so that the regions, they don't have 4 days. Paola, you said something that is unbelievable. Claudia said it before, but we've been thinking about it, all of us. In Sardinia, they have the longest living, they even come and study them. It's called the blue zone. So they live very long, and it's a combination of the quality of the climate, because I know that most of you would like to come during the summer, but we've been there very long during winter, and winters are mild. On a sunny days, it's unbelievable. You enjoy it, and it's quiet. So you have more time for your own, and then you have at the same time the food. So all the quality of life of Italy is sort of augmented in Sardinia, and that's why it's kind of common to live till you're 100. So definitely, if you're thinking about moving there, consider it. Oh yeah.
There was a question about bike riders,
Yes.
bicycle. Well, personally, I can say that there are several places where you can rent the bikes. So no problem if you are a bike rider and you don't want to bring your bike over here, because I understand the problem. Personally, I don't know if Sucologone has the bike, so they can rent. Maybe Camilla can say to us if they rent the bikes.
Yes, absolutely. We do rent bikes. Actually, they are they can use it like anytime they want. They are mountain bikes. But if they want, even for example, the electrical ones, then we can provide it. We have a partner company in Calagonone, and they bring the bikes even in the hotel, so they can do some of the pathway they pre-designed in the Lanaitu Valley. So yeah.
So definitely, if you are a bike rider and you would like to do some normal or relaxed bike rides around Sardinia, you can do it. And even around Sucologone, there is the toughest one that I said is the T Trail. Is also several days of trails. So it's a long path, but you can actually just study it a bit and prepare it in order to go back or come back every day to Sucologone, or to the hotel, to the accommodation. So it's definitely a good place for the biker riders.
Yes, I just want to add to what Francesca has just said, that also due to the low traffic, it's really the perfect destination for bikers. You will bike along panoramic routes, deserts, panoramic routes. So
and the windy roads.
Windy routes, so technical.
Josie, some more info requests about the monument from the air photo from above that look like a keyhole.
Which one?
Well, Josie, Santa Cristina. It looks like a keyhole.
Okay.
It's true.
Santa Cristina.
Okay, well, what would you like to know? It's probably the most well-preserved temple of this kind that we have in Sardinia, but there are really many. There's plenty of sacred well in Sardinia, and they often happen to be in very panoramic positions, very charming settings. So also close to Oliena, to Zugologone, you will find another well temple, which is called Esoskaros, which is incredibly monumental and fine detailed for that time, for being built at that time. And of course, these monuments are very much linked to astronomy, because impressively they have a lot of bondings and roots with solstice, equinox, and astronomical phenomenal and events. Also there are people which say that they can feel a very special atmosphere in this place, like these are like sacred places by nature in themselves. So probably it's the energy of the nature which comes throughout the water, throughout the oak trees which surround this place. It's a very mystical experience and definitely amazing. And Santa Cristina, what amazes the most is that next to the neuralgic monuments, there is a neuralgic village and then a Catholic sanctuary. So it means that the worship of this place has been recognized from Sardinia and across all the times.
Great, we don't have any more questions. So I think we can say not really goodbye to everybody, but looking forward to welcoming you to Sardinia, and hope to see you very, very soon. And in the near future, we are going to organize with Elena other webinars about Dolomites, about other destinations in Italy. So I'll keep you informed about all the new coming webinars. A big kiss, a big hug from Italy. Stay safe, and I'm sure we will soon be able to go back to normality.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.